New and updated mods for Farm Sim 25 are here for Wednesday, February the 19th. We're going to check them all out. A total 38 mods released on the in-game mod up. All platforms got 35 new. Yeah. And the PC Mac players got 2 new and 1 update. If you like staying updated with all the latest mods in Farm Sim, make sure you subscribe. Just sit back and relax. This is going to be a long one. Starting off today with new ones for all platforms, we're going to start with the 7 giant software mods. First one's the CLAAS Arion 750 720 pack from Farm Sim 22. And here you've got engines ranging from 367 up to 435 horsepower. Wheel brands from Continental, Bridgestone, and that's it, I guess. It just changes the rear tire. Not a whole lot to it. CVT transmission, 1,000 liters of fuel, 18 mile per hour max speed, and it holds 12,000 liters. As far as what we get with it, we do get a corn header to go along with it. This is 6 meters at 6 miles per hour. If we pop back out and go to our connections and things like that, it is also going to work with the ConveyorFlex 1080. So that is your grain header to go along with it, base game. There's also another returner, the CLAAS Arion 600. Great to see this one in here, between 145 and 205 horsepower. Wheel options from Trelleborg, Michelin, Continental, Midas, BKT, Bridgestone, and Nokian tires. And we do have a front loader for CLAAS or Nada. Now, I am curious, do we have a CLAAS front loader? Negative. All right. Moving on, I guess. We've also got a Valtra, the Valtra Q Series. I know this one's a fan favorite, so good to see that out. We've got different things as far as front mounting for 3-point. There's also a front weight holder, and then you could do 180, 300, 420, 540, 660, 780, and 900 kg front weight. You've got engines ranging from 230 up to 305 horsepower. All the wheel brands that you would look forward to. We also have reverse driving of no and the twin track, basically yes or no. Then you've got the roof setup, which gives you your skylight on the front or the back. Door setup, you've got the panoramic window or the second door on the right-hand side. Stowage system, you've got small and big, although I'm not quite sure what that's changing up. I'm not 100% sure about that one. As far as your interior, you do have 2 different setups to choose from for that, and then a front loader of Quickie, Hauer, or Nada. We also have main color options. If we check those out, you do have your custom colors from Valtra. Next up, we have the Vervaet Hydrotrike 5x5. This one is 530 horsepower, a variable VSG transmission. I just did a video about Farm Sim guy. You've also got 850 liters of fuel, goes 24 miles an hour, 20,000 liter capacity for your slurry and digestate. You do have wheel options from Trelleborg, Michelin, and that is it. And then you have the launch edition of yes or no. From the Horsch pack, we have the Horsch Cura 24ST. This is a big weeder. This is a 24.5 meter weeder. 200 horsepower is required for it, and it'll go 7 miles an hour. Here's one I know a lot of people are going to be excited to see back, the Demco Series 2200. This will hold 77,500 liters of all of your standard auger wagon crops, and we've also got a crawler track setup or a wide tire setup, so that's pretty cool. And then as far as our main colors, we do have a Demco red, green, and blue, plus all of your base game colors. Your last giant software mod today is the Kröger MUK 303. This will hold 37,500 liters of bulk crop. You do have options for wheels from Trelleborg, Michelin, BKT, Bridgestone. We have a cover of yes or no. Main color options through here, which will be the body, and then the chassis color, which is indeed the chassis. No cover color option though. Now we jump over to modder mods, and we start with the MAN TGS 18500 4x4. As far as I know, this is the first MAN mod, so it's great to see that, and I'm pretty sure this is one of the base game trucks that we've had for a little while. 500 horsepower with a manual transmission, 400 liters of fuel, 55 miles an hour, 8.4 tons. Wheel options from Trelleborg, Continental, BKT, and that is it. You do have a wide tire setup. Trelleborgs, though, if you want to go with it. You got a main color option and a rim color option. Another returner, the New Holland TX 32. This was base game for Farming Simulator 19. Very cool to see this returning from PuzzCab. As far as this one goes, we do have 2 things. We have a header when we have a header trailer. We'll talk about those here in a second. As far as your specs, 155 horsepower manual transmission, 350 liters of fuel, goes 15 miles an hour, and it'll hold 5,600 liters of your normal crops. Wheel options range from Trelleborg, Michelin, Continental, Bridgestone, BKT, and Midas tires. We do have a warning triangle of yes and no around towards the back. Additional mirrors. I think they've misspelled mirrors. Mirrors. I don't know. Let's move on. Beacon lights. We have both in the front, in the back, or nothing. Reflectors are no and yes, so we start with yes. Warning signs are no and yes, but in an opposite order, but it is nice that we can remove those. Main stickers, we have a new set and a worn set. That looks awesome. Sky tank, we've got a high tank or low tank, though that is not going to determine your capacity, so don't worry about that. As far as your side cover, we have a yellow cover or black. Rag is short and long towards the backside. There you go. And then we have colors. So we have a new, lightly used. We have used, then very used, and very heavily used. So there you go. Can't wait to see this one in our used category. Also looks kind of neat when you just change things up, doesn't it? We do have a window color tint. So this is kind of new and unique. You could change up the window tint. It's supposed to just have black, blue, and gray, but because we have color options, you could change anything. And then we even have the colors for the rims, which again, you could change those if you have the Giants color mod. That's really cool, man. I love that. That's so cool, man. All right, and then we've got a header. 4 meter working with on here. Crop pickers, we have yes and no. You do have your main stickers, which mirror the combine, so worn and new. Main color and the black paint condition is also going to be there too. Now, this one's also in a used setup in the front, but because they've added it in a color, you can do whatever. Lastly is the header trailer that goes along with it. This one has a warning triangle on the back. You also have your reflectors that match up with the combine harvester, the main color, the black paint color, and then finally you have a rim color. Now I am interested in the black paint. I'm not quite sure what this is going to be changing up. Okay, so it just does those little bits that hold on the header. Very cool mod, man. Next is a returning fan favorite from the SMI modding team, the Cressoni CRX Series. These are back, and we have 6 headers now instead of 3. However, 2 of them are the same. So you have the CRX and then the CRX Sojaflex. Sojaflex. Yeah, I was never a fan of these, the ones with the parts on the front, but that's just me. I like just a straight up looking header. So that's kind of my setup. So let's take a look at the largest one. As a matter of fact, I'll tell you all about all of them. 6.6 and 7.2 meter working width on all of these. You do have a safety bar around towards the front. I highly advise that. I think it looks really cool. And then you have attacher type. You've got a New Holland on there, John Deere, CLAAS Lexian, CLAAS Evian, Case, Fendt, Massey Ferguson, Ideal, and then back to New Holland again. So that's going to just change up the height. There are a few visuals, but really it's just going to make sure that whenever you lower it, it touches the ground. Then you have all of your colors here too, so you can change those to whatever you need. These are fantastic because it is a folding header. When you click it, it will unfold and kind of center itself, so it's not going to be off-center or anything like that. If you're playing on smaller maps where headers are really difficult to move around, especially with header trailers, use this. You will not be disappointed. Next up from HR Forest, we have the Rana H21D Steep Slope Pack. That is right. We got a couple things here. You have the 7000. You also have with easy arm control. So if you use an easy arm controls, choose that one, I guess. And then you have the traction winch, which hooks up to the back. As far as specs, 305 horsepower, variable transmission, 500 liters of fuel, 12 mile an hour max speed, and weighs 27.8 tons. It'll also harvest up to 76 centimeter trees, which is pretty large. As far as your engine, we can bump that up to 385 horsepower. Wheel options from Nokian, BKT, Trelleborg, Michelin, and back to Nokian again. I don't know how to say it. I said all of us for it, and people say it's wrong. You know what? It's now. As far as colors, we have new and old color. God, it looks good. We also have windows of standard and tinted, road equipment of yes and no, exhaust guard, yes and no, hood protection, yes and no, rear cage, rear extra extinguisher, black version. We could change a few things up to, back version. I apologize. And then bogey lift. Wouldn't it be cool if that was boogie lift, though? That'd be so much fun. You've also got the cabin rotation, 90 degrees left and right. You do have a main color option here, which changes up the rear. So if you wanted to change that up to a black, boop, and it matches perfect. That is so cool. You can also change up the processor head. We'll go with Ow, That Hurts My Eyes blue. Processor head color number 2. Same thing there. And then we also have the Earth for first color. And then lastly, a rim color. You can change that up however you like. We do have, come on, back it up. There you go. We do have the same setups for the easy arm control version, which I imagine most people will be going with. And then you've got your rear traction winch. We've got another mod from HR Force. This is the Kesla Forestry pack. Yes, another pack. We've got a setup that hooks up a forwarder grabber, a crane forwarder grabber, to your 3-point. So that is very cool. We've got one that's a harvester head. That is very cool too. Up to 64 centimeter trees. So not the largest, but not the smallest either. That is very, very usable. Then we also have a 3-point hitch that will hook up to a moving log fork. And then lastly, you've got this guy right here, which will be hooked up behind yourself. You could do this in a trailer form. You can also do it as a tipper trailer, and you can add that crane, which is very, very nice. There's also a switch up for the tow bar, which is very cool to see, and then plenty of color options. So that is awesome. Color options all the way around. So do you want to turn your tractor into a forwarder? Do you want to turn it into a harvester where you can do all that? There's also a trailer hitch in there too. So let's say you wanted to use the harvester for whatever reason, and then you wanted to use this trailer, simply go with timber trailer, and you're good. Or you could keep it as a crane and do some wild, crazy stuff. Next, we have 3 different Meprozet PN slurry tankers, which for some reason were not forced to be in a pack. I don't know how that happened, but we're going to briefly go over them because they're pretty much the same as the other, 30 slurry tanks we have from JMZ. I'm kidding. He's got 4 or 5. Nonetheless, the first one is the PN 240 Maxi 3 Plus. 240 horsepower is required on this one. Holds 24,000 liters. It's got a 12-meter worker width at 9 miles per hour. You do have a swivel suction pipe, fenders, and color of stickers, blue or white. You can add a cover of yes and no, which is going to be around towards the front, small little piece on the front, and then you've got colors. There is also a version which has got a 3-point attachment on the back of it if you would choose to go with that. Similarly, you've got the PN 180 2W. This one holds 18,000 liters, 180 horsepower required, 14-meter spread at 19 miles per hour. You do have the telescopic suction pipe, the folding ladder, hydraulic top latch, fenders, black edition, yes or no on this one. You do have the same cover at the front and the same rims and a version with a 3-point. And lastly, the baby 16,000 liter capacity on here, 5.7 tons, 160 horsepower, 14 meters and 9 miles an hour. We do have a pivot pipe, ladder, fenders, stickers, and colors, and a version with a 3-point. Again, I'm not quite sure why these are not in a pack, but well, it's not the first time. We also have some cultivators, also from JMZ, a big pack of them, the Rolmako U436 4.5 and 4-meter pack. So here you go. We've got those in a trailed version or in a 3-point version. We'll take a look at the largest 3-point. Wing shares, yes and no, and that is your only customization option. You do have lighting options on the smaller version. Oh, cool. I think I crashed my cane. Nope, just took forever to pull back up. I don't know why it does that every once in a while. Oh boy, here we go. There we go, just took forever. Wanted to show you that you can add lighting to the back, and I think it looks very, very cool. It's in kind of like a folded form. Moving along from Miyota Mani, we have the Lizard SNCP 108. This is a plow, a big boy plow. Oh yeah. 320 horsepower is required, 10 meters at 10 miles per hour. You do have decals of yes and no. We also have chassis color, and you've got rim colors. Next is the Grimme FT300 and the Rooster 604. These are for doing beats. So the first one is going to be a topper. So 85 horsepower required on there, 3 meters at 9 miles per hour. You do have different wheel brands, although it's BKT and Trelleborg. And then you've got the mechanical blade sensor, very cool through there, and colors. which is great to see. We could change that up to black. I think the Grimme stuff looks awesome in black. Then you have the harvester itself, which does sugar beets and red beets. 6,000 liter capacity, 8.5 tons, 185 horsepower is required, 3 meters at 6 miles an hour. Overloading, we have yes and no. We also have wheel brands from Trelleborg, Michelin, BKT, Wittgenstein. So a little bit different on this one. We also have wheel setups for those, which is very cool to see. Love the rear narrows. Designs, we have a black. We also have a design color. And then we have a main color option here where we could change up the body of everything. If you needed a smaller Krone windrow, we've got one for you, the Krone Swadro 900. This is from Wolfx Modding. What up, dude? 55 horsepower required on here, 9 meters at 12 miles an hour. Next up is the Robert Balefork pack, and boy, oh boy, do we have a bunch of them. You get 5, 10 pieces of equipment in here. Really, it's only 5. We'll talk about that. So we'll start with the first one. You see here, we've got a telehandler set, wheel loader, skid steer, front loader, and JCB. They all have those same ones. So it doesn't matter what you're using, all front loaders can use this. Big shouty outy to the modder ETA. They didn't have to include everything, and they did. I think that's worth mentioning because you don't see that very often. The next one is the transport version. So we've added forks on the bottom. Very, very cool through there. The first one holds 2 bales. This one holds 3. And I'm trying to go on the website to see what these are supposed to be used for, round or square bales, but the website's not working right now. Nonetheless, we do have another version which is just a little bit taller, and you've got it with the transport forks. And finally, you've got a version which is much, much higher, and that also uses the transport fork version. Then we have, did I say 5? I really meant 6 different versions. You've got a wrapped bale handler here. You've also got a square wrapped bale handler there. And then speaking of square bales, you got a couple down through here. So you can throw on some additional forks for that one, the 160, and then you've got the 200, which is a little bit wider. So I guess that's 7 different ones. Might be. If you're looking for some different styles of stuff, well, we have the Mammut equipment pack. This from Agrar Design Austria, or ADA. I'm sure you've heard of them before. And we've got 5 different things in here. You've got the power cut, which is going to cut a bale, which is great. Kind of shreds it up for you. You have universal bucket. Then we have a silo cap, silo bucket, and a silo grip. So those are all going to be holding normal stuff with the exception of the small one, which is a little bit interesting, but I guess it is what it is. So we have standard tines on here and additional tines. And then you've also got the Eurotach and the Eurotach with a 3-point. Very nice to be able to see that. Then your universal bucket's just going to hold 1,000 liters as far as the silo cap, 1,500 liters for silage things only, then 1,500 for the silo bucket. This one holds all of the things, and so does this guy. You also have the lateral additional tines if you want to throw them in there. We got more attachments, the Ålö Frontloader Tools. These are for front loaders, of course. You've got a pallet fork right here. You've also got multiple buckets and multiple grabber buckets. These are, well, just kind of are what they are. You do have the Trimma, which I find interesting because is Trimma a branded on consoles? I'm not quite sure, but hey, we're here. You also have Quickie and Quickie. I don't know what the difference is between yellow and orange. Maybe. There you go. That's about it. Not done with buckets yet, as we have the Strautmann GS 17500, as you would expect, 960 liters. Not 1750. You have a old logo and the new logo, although I do prefer the old logo, but that's just me, and it works for front loaders. Not enough, you said? Well, here we go. We have the Bressel and Lade B11 Balefork. This one has 2 prongs, or 3, or 4, or 5, or 2. I'm done. Front loaders, teleloaders, and that is it. And then you've got a main color setup here for the top portion. And that's about it. If you want to hook stuff up in between 3 points, well, go with the Fliegl Bale Transportcross. This is the Balefork from those guys, and you can change up the tine colors. Next up, we have the Lizard Weight Pack, and I think these weights have the most customization options I've ever seen. So the 500L holds 500 liters, and that's going to be basically a liquid tanker. They've used that, and it will help weigh it down. It weighs 100 kgs by itself. Or You could go with the large version, which holds or weighs 600 kgs by itself. You've got support legs on there, which I highly recommend, so that whenever you drop it, it stays put. You've got a trailer attacher. Why not? Go for it. Decals. Of course we like decals around here. Front warning lights. Hey, adding lights to that, of course. Side warning lights. Lights in general. Yup. You also have weight. 600 kgs. Says what it weighs on the front. Then you've got the roller color and the frame color. You've also got a design color, which I'm interested to see what that changes. Oh, changes to 600 kg at the front. Very cool. You've also got the same options for the version that you could fill up. And we got some placeables. Not as many as usual, but we still have a handful. First one is the farm buildings with dark wood. This is from Cali, or KA77E. Big fan favorite among farming simulator community, etc., etc. So that is them. Check them out. Here is your building right here. We showed off the first one, which was open in the front. This one opens around towards the sides, but we still have people doors through there. And we have a cattle pasture as well. Sitting here getting choked up on my own spit. Holds 55 animals, 33,750 liters of food, 21,000 straw, and 56 slurry. So not a big place. It also allows you to plant meadowgrass and expand it, so you cannot increase the amount of animals that it holds on PC. I should really do a video on how to explain that. I tell you all the time, if there's no way to build a pasture, then you can increase the number of animals. But if you can place the pasture, you can't. But I never talk about how to do that. So I should probably do that sometime. Hey, if you want to see that, let me know. And hey, if you're here this far in, let me know too. You do have a place here for bales, which I find super awesome. Otherwise, they are what they are. They do have a couple customization options. Otherwise, nothing new. Next is the foil tunnel. This is a greenhouse for you guys. Very, very wide open greenhouse. Actually, my high school had something like this whenever we were there. In here, you can do chili peppers, garlic, lettuce, Napa cabbage, spring onions, strawberries, and tomatoes. You're going to be holding 25,000 liters of water, and you can see all of your literages for your crops on the right. Next one is our old Polish garage for $17,500. This could be yours. Very old building indeed. The brick is, I think, what is that? The parallax or whatever it is. I forgot what you call that. Anyway, it is popping like crazy off the side of that. I would definitely stay back a little bit, and it looks great. You also have a door here on the side and a nice window. Next up is our 5-bay cow shed. This one will hold 35 cows, although you cannot build a fence with it. So you can increase that, as always. You do have a place in the back where you can kind of get in here and do what you want to do. Food goes around towards the front. As far as what it will hold, again, 35 animals. Down the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, 40,000 liters of food, 20 in the straw, 80 in the slurry, and 10 on the manure. That's right, you're going to be mucking it out. From the same model, we also have the Slatted Cow Shed. This one is very similar, but a lot more expensive, $100,000. It also holds a lot more things as well, including manure, 30,000 liters of manure in here, and 80,000 liters of food. Also holds 150 animals, which I absolutely love. There's no way 150 animals would fit in here. If this was for anybody else, it would hold like 20. And I love it. Great job with this one. I am digging it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, and by the way, the last two you can change the color on too. Next we have the Finnish shed pack, although the description only says there's one shed in here, but I've got 3 buildings in the Finnish shed pack installed, and I don't have the other Finnish shed pack installed, so who knows? This is the one that it talks about. This is the WS10 shed, $30,000 for that. Then we have some smaller sheds here too, which I really like. Some smaller bits, but they look really good. They look brand new. Fantastic job here. Lighting on the inside. Very cool. Only missing HVAC and you'd be able to live in there. And then same thing through the larger version here too. They look so good inside. Goodness gracious. A lot of work went into these. A lot of work indeed. And it paid off. Man, oh man. Couple more placeables. This is the machine haul from the TWF team. This is going to cost you $95,000. Also looks incredible. Very, very nice details. Love the design. Love the wood. A lot of time went into this one as well. Not so much, I think, for the I would say the model, but the model's extremely, I mean, even the joiners at the top, the amount of detail and the amount of time and effort that went into this is a lot. However, I don't want to undercut the just the beauty and the craftsmanship. But not only that, what's the word I'm looking for here? Uniqueness. Crap, that's not it either. Talent and skill, maybe? I think maybe that's it. I'm having a hard time with it, dude. It took a lot of talent. So, you can't just build a square building and put it together. A lot of effort went into this. A lot of creativity. Creativity! That's the word I was looking for! I'm just going to shut the door and move on. Anyway, TFW team, awesome job with this. Really incredible building. Next to last, we have the vertical axis wind turbines. They are all wind turbines that are in a vertical form of axis, as you can expect. Of course, all found in generators, all that good stuff. As far as how much money they'll make you, the smallest one will do $840 a month. $4,200 a month for the next one up. That is a big discrepancy in size and how much it'll pull. I mean, you're going to pay for that in 3.5 months? That's wild. Then you've got a large or a medium-sized one in the middle, the one that's kind of like a corkscrew. I think it looks very, very cool. That one's going to give you $6,700 per month. Medium right here, that one's going to give you $16,800 per month, but it is a very bad value, costing $200,000. And then the largest one up here, this one is going to give you $46,000 per month, but at $550,000, it is a terrible value. However, I will acknowledge that the two largest ones are pretty standard with everything else in the game. Everything else is just a really good value. So if you want to make a little extra cash or something, dude, go for the small ones. Definitely go for the small ones. And your last new one today for all platforms is the water house. Kind of like the opposite of an outhouse, except it gives you water. This is just another place where you can get water for free. No going inside either. Aww. Jumping over to new ones for PC and Mac players, we've got two of them for you. The first is the Akpil Rylec. Very cool name there. I'm probably saying it wrong, but I like the way I said it. It sounds cool. This is a cultivator. It's a 3-meter cultivator. No getting around that one. 9 mile an hour, 80 horsepower, 600 kgs, and well, that's it. And your only other one is the Bressel and Lade Agriline 1000. This one's weird because Bressel and Lade it's branded. Like it's licensed. You can put this on consoles. So I don't know what happened here. Maybe it's the MMS Agriline logo at the top. I have no idea. Nonetheless, you do have a couple different things here. The Schroeder Group or Bressel and Lade, and then you've got your color. And your only mod today with an update, this Sauter Tractor Triangle. This was released brand new yesterday, but already got an update. Color configuration fixed. And there it is. Thank you so much for watching. If you lasted all the way till the end of the video, listen to my voice. Hey, let me know. If you haven't checked out today's Farm Sim News, definitely do that as well. And hey, if there's any other mods you would love to see in Farming Simulator, I'd love to hear them. All being said, just have a great day. Happy Wednesday to you, and we'll see you later.